Good afternoon, I'm Shane Masters with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. Concerns are being raised regarding the return of President of the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, Professor Fritz Pinnock, to work on Monday. The details in this report. Professor Fritz Pinnock is back on the job at the Caribbean Maritime University after a lengthy leave to facilitate investigations, but his return has generated more questions than answers being provided. One person raising issue is opposition spokesman on education, Ronald Thwaites. Professor Pinnock, when he extended his leave in September, indicated that in the interest of transparency, he would remain out of office until details of the corruption investigation at the CMU are made public. Mr. Thwaites wants to know when those details will be released.
Since he has now resumed work, we must assume that those investigations are complete and that the public should have a right to their disclosure immediately.
Minister with responsibility for education, Carl Samuda, sought to clarify the reasons for Professor Pinnock's return to his role at the CMU.
I think it might have been prompted by the fact that he no longer has any leave. And he's employed to the CMU, so he has to work. And so he would have chosen to go back. That is the thing that I would expect. But I had nothing to do with his return. It was entirely on his own volition that he chose to go back to work, because you couldn't really expect a man to continue on leave without any leave provisions.
Mr. Sumuda also noted that the Education Ministry had nothing to do with Professor Pinnock's leave of absence.
He chose to do that. You know, it was a national commentary on the whole situation, and it was felt and expressed publicly that he should go on leave until the report is complete. And so he did.
As to the completion in the investigations, the minister says he has no idea if they have been completed.
No, I am not aware. I have not been advised. I know the investigation is ongoing, but I am not aware of the exact stage that it has reached or when it is likely to be completed or anything of the kind.
A September 13 statement from the CMU said Professor Pinnock had applied for and was granted a further extension of his voluntary leave. He went on leave of absence in July to facilitate the probe into corruption allegations involving former Education Minister Ruel Reid, the Education Ministry, and the Caribbean Maritime University. There's an urgent call for the government to move with alacrity to appoint a new chairman of the Integrity Commission. The post is vacant following confirmation early last month from Justice Carl Harrison that he had resigned as chairman after 16 months on the job. His resignation coincided with the retirement of Acting Director of Corruption Prosecutions at the Integrity Commission, Dirk Harrison. Chairman of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, Mark Golding, says given the important work of the Commission, a new head must be quickly named.
Unfortunately, there have been some problems in the early stages of this new institution in terms of the key leadership of the institution. And we've seen the resignation of the chairman, and we've seen the director of corruption prosecutions having resigned without even being appointed on a permanent basis. The government needs to move quickly to identify a suitable replacement for the chairman. There should be due consultation on who that person is. We want to ensure that person has broad confidence among well-thinking Jamaicans.
Mr. Golding says once a new chairman is named, the Commission must also move swiftly to appoint a Director of Corruption Prosecutions. The latest crime figures show there were 2 fewer murders up this Saturday when compared with a year ago. The police report says there have been 976 murders since January. The total for the same period a year ago was 978. Other serious crimes such as shooting, rape, aggravated assault, robbery, break-ins and larceny were also down. St. Andrews South saw 116 murders, St. James 108, Clarendon 102 and St. Catherine South with 100 were the divisions with the highest number of murders. 505 illegal guns and 12,000 rounds of ammunition have been seized by the security forces. The government is introducing a policy framework to guide wellness in the workplace. Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said the policy is geared toward improving workforce productivity.
We have a policy also that's coming for wellness at work, because I've said before, our employers, Mr. President, too often feel that the best they can do is to have their workers come to work in the morning and leave in the evening, and very little concern beyond that about their welfare. And I'm saying to you, a more productive employee is going to be an employee where wellness is focused on. And there's going to be a policy framework, not imposing on anybody to do anything, but encouraging employers to buy into a wellness agenda that will support that program.
The political ombudsman is proposing changes that will give her more powers to enforce breaches of a political code of conduct. Donna Parchment Brown, however, said the changes will require public commitments from the two major political parties. The details from TVJ's Prince Moore.
From time to time, there have been breaches of the political code of conduct, but it appears in most cases the political ombudsman has little or no power to sanction those in breach. But on Monday, while speaking on RJR's Beyond the Headlines program with Dion Jackson Miller, Donna Parchment Brown disclosed plans are being made to give her office enforcement capabilities. The political ombudsman also indicated that one of her top priorities is public education, followed by legislative changes to facilitate more information gathering.
And a second one is getting a public commitment from the leaders of the two political parties about the accountability of their party members. But there are a couple of matters that I am proposing to have a discussion about, possible amendments between now and then that would allow for fines, that may allow for some clarity about who can act on certain things.
The Prime Minister and opposition leader have reportedly been informed of the move. She gave examples of some of the sanctions being contemplated and the entities which will be involved.
Say between the Electoral Commission and the Office of the Political Ombudsman on some of these breaches will be necessary. And clarity is that it doesn't matter if it goes through the election, we're still going to pursue the breaches after the election, especially those breaches that could go to a loss of your seat, having won, and which may also have a fine under the Representation of the People Act.
Prince Moore, TVJ News.
It's the peak of the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season, and residents in Highgate, St. Mary are worried about the drain problem in their area. Cyprian Johnson explains that since the National Works Agency NAA did work on the Harmony Hall to Whitehall Main Road over a year ago, they have been having challenges. Mr. Johnson says several appeals were made to the NAA to address the situation, but nothing much has been done.
They lift the road and they turn it on the opposite side. The water was supposed to be going on the left-hand side, which has a proper water channel. Now the water is coming on the right-hand side. I've been to NAA many times. I've spoken to the manager, Mr. Clayton, and the information manager for NAA. They had promised to come and deal with it. They came, they suggested what they would do, and for months now they have not been back.
TVJ News contacted the NAA St. Mary office, and a representative told us that they have not received any complaints about that particular stretch of road. The Santa Cruz police are investigating a spate of break-ins in the Bybrook community yesterday. Thieves broke into 6 houses in the community, taking several items, including clothes and jewelry.
They go to all of the jewelry funds. They take whatever they think is valuable. That's what they did.
And take phones, laptops, jewelry, money, all the things, all food. Drink out all the liquor them and all them things.
I'm just ransack the house, tear down every drawer and closet, and just open fridge, dash with everything, then just spill over everything in the house. It's like a garbage dump.
TVJ News understands that residents of Bybrook housing scheme have had several other break-ins. Members of a local entertainment fraternity are reacting to news out of Canada that well-known Jamaican dancehall artist and actor Louis Ranking was killed in a car crash. The collision occurred yesterday evening in Ontario. According to website TMZ, the crash involved a car and a truck. The details are still unknown. Louis Ranking, whose given name is Leonard Forbes, was a popular voice in many underground movies, music videos, and made several guest appearances on rap tracks. However, he was most known as the character called Ox in the movie Belly, which he starred with rapper Nas and DMX. He was also well known as the character Teddy Bruckshot in the movie Shutters, which starred Kimani Marley and Sprague Benz. His 1992 hit Typewriter also won him several accolades in North America. Over 500 men turned up at the St. James Parish Church in Montego Bay to utilize the free services provided by the Cancer Society of Jamaica. In addition to the prostate tests, the men also benefited from HIV testing, blood sugar testing, blood pressure checks, and vision checks. The Men's Day initiative came just days after the Ministry of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, called on more Jamaican men to overcome the stigma and get a prostate exam done. The beneficiaries and authorities share the view that if more free prostate testing were readily available, more men would do it.
So it's important for me to follow up like that, health-wise, saving some money, and makes me aware of where my health risks are. So far, so good. So we have to be extremely grateful for institutions such as the health clinic at the church, the Anglican Church, for providing us with this kind of opportunity. I think it's a great one, and moreover, us men should throw away the whole thing of not being tested. I don't want to be tested. In the end, it is best to think about the preventative than to have to consider the cost and time and the pain for curative.
We are very happy because we understand now that while there is a fear factor for some men in terms of the digital rectal examination and the PSA testing for prostate cancer, we do understand and realize as a Jamaica Cancer Society that once the screening is offered free of cost and men have access to it, they do turn out and the numbers are here today.
News now in sports. 4 of Jamaica's 6 athletes in action so far on day 5 of the IAAF World Championships have made progress to the semi-final round of their events. Kian Rene is in Doha and now reports.
Fresh from his third-place finish in the Diamond League final, debutant quartermiler Akeem Bloomfield was eager to get off to a good start in the 400 meters, having received the late selection by the J3 race ahead of the World Championships.
The Jamaican and Kishoyan trying to come back into the mix along with Fora on the outside, the South African. Cedinho and Bloomfield just need to be careful here because Fora's coming through. Cedinho from Bloomfield.
It was a good run. The idea was to qualify, for the semi-finals and take each race at a time, and I think I did that to my coach's instructions. I could have pushed a little bit more at the finish and won, but I think top 2 gets you in, so yeah, I'm okay with that today.
2017 World Championship finalist Demish Gay, he clocked 45.02 seconds for second, behind medal favorite and world leader American Michael Norman, who clocked 45 seconds even.
Well, I'm pleased with the execution of the race. I just went to the instructions that my coach gave me, put myself in a good position from early, and just earn one of the qualifying spots for tomorrow.
National record holder Rashid McDonald he failed to make progress, having only posted 46.21 seconds. In the women's 400 meters hurdles, Rochelle Clayton, the national champion, she returned 55.23 seconds to easily win her heat to make progress to the semi-finals.
Good running this from Clayton. A 6th time of asking to take that Jamaican national title. Won the London Diamond League. Clayton's through, so too Sage.
That lane 7 was hard for me because that's the first time I'm running from 7 for the season, always in the inner lanes. So that was just to set me up for a better lane in the semi-final.
World Under-20 medalist Cheyenne Salmon, who is returning from an injury, she posted a new personal best of 55.20 seconds to finish 3rd in her heat and make progress to the semi-finals.
Well, it was a bit serious.
Each time I would try to compete aggressive, I would feel something, but my coach kept on working on it along with the therapist, and I was able to come out here and race, and I got a new PB, and I'm very proud.
Rhonda White could only manage 56.37 for sixth in her heat and did not advance. Reporting from the IAAF World Championships in Doha, I'm Keon Reyna for TVJ Sports.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Shane Masters. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.